Now, I'm filming this in my car right before I go into work, and so sorry if it's a little shaky. I'm trying to hold it up against my steering wheel so that way it won't move too much, but I apologize if it is a little shaky. What I wanted to talk about today is finances in church. And I don't know how many churches work like this, but after I left my church, I went to several different churches of several different religions, and it's hot in here. And some of the churches that I went to would have like financial statements printed out on their daily or their weekly Sunday brochure things, and others would have them out on the table where you could look at them or whatever. And that's very, very different from my church that I went to for about 2 years. I was a member of the church. I was quote-unquote saved in the church. I was baptized in that church. And that church was a mega church. And when I say mega church, I mean it had more than 1,000 members. It was a very contemporary church, live music with drums and guitars, and it was almost like a concert. Video games for the youth and the kids, and just very, very contemporary. And I technically got kicked out of my church. In all technicality, I was kicked out of that church. I wasn't escorted by police or anything, but I was told by my youth pastor that I wasn't welcomed back, I shouldn't come back, and quite frankly, they didn't want me there. So I was kind of shunned. I went through this whole process of hurt and humiliation because a lot of lies were told about me by the pastor, and I was shunned by the church as a whole. I was friends with a lot of them on Facebook, and for the next month I was deleted and blocked by several people daily. So I just went through this whole time period of humiliation by these people. But right before I got kicked out, pretty much right after he told me that I wasn't welcome there, he didn't want me there, I left. But we were having a conversation that led up to this, and I asked to see the financial statement. I feel like as a person who gave tithes, I feel like as a person who gave donations and just besides my tithes, I should have a right to see the financial statement and what my money's being spent on. And he said I wasn't allowed to see that only staff members and the financial advisory people were able to see it, and I thought that was really weird. And then I remember I went on a mission trip to Kentucky about a year prior, and it was an old mine town, and a lot of these people were really hurting. So we helped rebuild some houses and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. It was about a week-long trip, and it was $400 a person to go. Now, I live in South Carolina, so Kentucky is really not a long drive, just 5 or 6 hours, I think it was, something like that. Maybe it was 8, but it really wasn't that long of a drive. We pretty much spent about $460 in gas per all the vehicles there and back. We spent about $300 on food, and over 20 people went on this trip. So that's about $8,000 for a mission trip to Kentucky. Lodging was completely free. We stayed at a mission house. They didn't charge us anything. The guy had a ministry there, and the electricity and everything was paid for by donation, so we didn't have to pay anything while we were there except for food. We didn't have to buy any of the building materials. They were available by a warehouse of another ministry that we worked with. So we spent, I'm gonna say, I'll just round it up and even say we spent $1,000 on this trip. Where did the other $7,000 go? And nobody could answer that question for me. I know as a person, it's people want to know where their money's going that they're working hard for. And I remember Now, where I live, there's a Walmart and there's an Asian restaurant, and then there's like a strip of just random stores and nail salon and stuff like that, and homeless people will usually stand there in that area because it's really busy, and they'll have signs or whatever. And I usually don't give to them, but I felt like I really wanted to give to this one guy, so I gave him $5, and he said he was going to go to McDonald's and get a bite to eat. He was really, really hungry. He hadn't eaten in a couple of days, and it was right after the weekend, and here we have a food shelter thing where they'll give you a meal a day, but they're closed down on the weekends, I think. And so he went and he said, you can come with me if you want. You can know that I'm not going to spend this on drugs. I'm not going to spend it on alcohol. And I really didn't care. And I said, no, just go get yourself something to eat. But people want to know what their money's going towards. And so I just feel like churches as tax exempt buildings should be forced to show people what they're spending their money on. And because all that money that they have is by donations. Like I knew my pastor, I went to school with his son, graduated with his son, and he and his wife both worked at the church, and they didn't have any other jobs, they didn't have any other sources of income, and they were loaded, rich people. And so, I mean, you just wonder how much is going to line their pockets. So if you guys go to church, definitely see if your church will let you see that financial statement, and even still, you just don't know how true it is, honestly. So that's my daily rant of the day, I guess. I'm going to go into work, and you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.